everyone, this is Kathy Burgos, and I'm here today to talk to you about preparing for plastic surgery. There's 3 or 4 things that I want to talk about. There's so many things we can talk about when it comes to preparing for plastic surgery, but I'm going to just break down about 3 or 4 of them in a 30-minute time frame. And you can listen to this and you can enjoy it, and you can prepare yourself to have the best experience possible for plastic surgery. And I wanted to share my journey and hopefully be able to give you a different perspective and help you along the way. One of the things that I really want to make clear is that we're talking already at the stage of already choosing your doctor. You've already done the investigation work. You've already checked the certifications, the recommendations. You've already established all of that kind of thing. We'll do another video later about all of that. So that's something that's really important, okay? Let's get that out of the way in the beginning, that you've already, just saying that you've already gotten there or you're really close. Then you can begin to prepare in other ways, and you can even start like some of this process if you'd like to, but make sure that you do all of that, okay? So I'm not actually talking about that part of the preparing as far as picking your doctor and choosing what you're going to get done. I'm going to be talking about, number 1, the financial part of it, the heart and mind body preparing, or the heart and the mind preparing of it, and the body preparing of it, okay? So that's really what I'm going to key on today. And so let's get right in there. Let's talk about the finances. So one thing that I don't know if I was really knew all of the things that was going to go into plastic surgery. I think I was like, okay, my doctor's going to give me a quote. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to start saving money, or maybe I already have some money saved, and I'm going to go ahead and have plastic surgery. Now, mind you, there's so much that goes into it, because what I did is I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and decide to do this. I had a year. And at first I really didn't like that, because sometimes I can be an impulsive and I'm like, no, I want it right now, right? We've all been there. We want to be the after picture already. But I actually booked my surgeon. He was booked for a year solid from the time that I accepted my quote. So I had a year, and so I was saving money already, and then I began to continue to save money. And then I began to think of all the things that I wanted to do also. So let's go into it. What I wanted to do, my surgery was the end of June. So I wanted to have all of my bills paid for the month before and the month after, because I didn't want that stress on me. I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. I hoped for the best, but I didn't want to, after surgery, I've never had major surgery, so I didn't really know, the recovery time and that kind of thing. So I wanted to make sure that all my bills were paid that whole next month. Why? Because I didn't want to have to deal with it. I didn't want to have to worry about, is this due? Is that due? Is this? I didn't know how I was going to be feeling at the time. So I wanted all of that taken care of beforehand. So that was something that was really important for me. And then as I began to, be on the boards of the support groups for my plastic surgeon, I began to notice people say, oh, well, you need this for surgery, you need that, and you need this. And then I realized I needed supplies. But before we get into supplies, let's talk about our family. So you may have children, you may have pets, you have your husband, your partner, whoever you are with. You also need to think about them. Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to feed them? Are you going to have to hire sitters? Are you going to have people come and clean your home, make meals? How are you going to take care of that? When you get out of major surgery, and I'm not talking about just a walk-in visit and you go home. I'm talking about major surgery. I had a 360 body lift. I was not going to be able to take care of the things that I always did. I would not even be able to drive a car. Now, I'm 10 days post-op right now. And I really believe, because of the preparation that I did financially, heart and mind and body, that's the gold coin mindset. When I applied all of those principles to this situation, I'm able to sit here and make a video 10 days post-op without the stress of different things because I prepared. And that's what made me want to make this video as I'm 10 days post-op right now, just after having major surgery, because I wanted to remember, even for myself, the way that I felt 10 days in. And I wanted, because afterwards, when all the pain is gone and all the you're in your beautiful outfit somewhere, on the beach, you're not thinking about what you went through at the time. And I wanted to make the video during this time so that you could see the results and the benefits of preparation. And so, and I'm not one of those people that prepares for everything. Some things I'm very, very good at. And some things, like I said, I can be impulsive and be like, let's go, let's do this, let's go on this trip, So, I'm not, you could say, oh, well, that's her. She's very organized and she's very structured. And sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. But in this case, I would suggest to you, prepare. You want to prepare financially. You really want to think about those things. So then I began to realize that I'm going to need a compression garment. I'm going to need some creams. I'm going to need some different medications. I'm going to need vitamins. I'm going to need all of these extra things. Now, none of this cost that I'm talking about is included in the price of my plastic surgery. So I have to begin to plan for these things and have them. Now, maybe you're traveling. I personally didn't have to go very far, but there's people who flew from one end of the United States to the other end of the United States. They had airfare. They had car rentals. They had, TSA check-ins to worry about and different things like that. So there was a whole host of other financial obligations that needed to be taken care of, right? And like I said before, your family, who's going to take care of them? Who's going to feed them? Who's going to take care of your home, right? So those are a whole host of other things. And then once you get to your destination and you're there with your surgeon, whether you're local or you traveled, what if there's an emergency situation? Do you have a cushion of finances to take care of if you needed a blood transfusion? Or in my case, I had some certain things planned, and when we got, into, the pre-op, appointment, he made some suggestions to me. How about instead of doing this, we do this? Let's look at this outcome versus that outcome. And so I made a decision with my surgeon, my plastic surgeon, to do some different procedures than I had originally planned. Now, I was able to funnel some finances for one procedure into another, but I still had an offset of cost. So luckily, I take that back. It wasn't luck. It was preparation on my part before that I would have a cushion of finances so that I was able to do that, right? Luckily or preparedly, I did have that cushion to be able to change the procedures that I needed to at the time to get the outcome that I desired. So you have to take all that into consideration. You never know what's going to happen, and that was something that I didn't plan on, but I was able to do it, and I'm happy that I was able to do it. And then also, if you have a companion with you, what are they going to do? What are they going to eat? How, what finances are they going to have? I basically, had to prepare for those things. I didn't want to have to worry about anything before or after. I wanted a peace of mind. It's already chaotic enough. It's already stressful enough that to have that financial stress on you, it's just an extra thing that you really don't need. So if you can, when you're preparing and thinking about having plastic surgery, myself, it's something that after losing 200 pounds, I was okay with not doing it. And the more I strength trained and changed my body composition with dumbbells, and I was loving it. But my skin, after 15 plus years, my genetics, my age, how long I carried the weight for, and how much I carried it for, the elasticity did not come back. And I could make a choice. And I know sometimes I would be doing renegade rows or, my jumping lunges or, want to wear a certain thing or go somewhere and there's this skin. And people will say, oh, you look great. Well, of course I did. 350 pounds versus 150 pounds on a 5 inches person looks way different. And I was so appreciative of people who did compliment me and who did really support me and do support me on my health journey. But nobody knows really what you go through. Nobody really knows the heartache that you experience and even sometimes the shame that you experience when you see the damage that you've done to yourself. I did this to me. I'm the one who gained all of that weight. And so when I lost the weight, I also had to deal with the damage that I had done to my skin and my body. And, I could wear, garments to kind of try to help it, but it was pretty devastating and it was difficult to live with. And so I did make the decision with my loved one, my awesome husband, that is this a journey that we want to go on? Because you're not by yourself if you have a partner. They are affected by everything that you do, and you are affected, likewise. And so he said, let's do this. I'm with you all the way, And so financially, that was a big deal for us. So it's something that I really, to the best of my ability, wanted to prepare for. And then also think about your after. Think about, you're not only paying for the price of your surgery, you're paying for your travel, your companion, your current and bills and after bills. You're paying for any kind of care that is needed for your family, your children, your pets, your food, everything like that. And then even unexpected emergencies. What if you need a blood transfusion during surgery? There's a lot of different things to take into consideration. The supplies that you need, before, after, and in your post-op recovery. Who's going to help you. There's so many things that I didn't realize that were going to take a chunk from my finances. So that's really why I wanted to talk about it and bring it up to you, because if you're in the middle of it, you might not even be thinking of some of those things. And it would really help you that when you're down the road and you've had surgery, because you're going to be going through enough chaos and trauma. You've just put your body under major, construction. And so you don't need that extra on you, worrying about, oh, well, did I take care of this? Did I not? Whether you're a planner or you're not, think about the before, during, and after and everything around you, that it's going to affect. So I'm able to sit here today, not that everything worked out perfectly, but perfectly for me. And I'm able to smile and genuinely tell you that preparation made all the difference. Okay, so let's talk about mind and heart. Now, mentally and emotionally, that was a huge one for me. And I really had to realize that if there's any negativity or toxic vibes in my sphere, of life, I needed to tune them out. I needed to get rid of them. And that included from my own self. Now, a lot of people I've heard, they feel guilty for spending that kind of money on themselves, or they worry about dying on the surgery table. And I went through all of that. And even thinking like, what, is this really going to work? Am I going to like my results? There's so many things that you can pick apart. Don't do it. It's up to you to change the narrative. You can be the most negative and toxic person in your own life. We can't always blame everyone else. Now, yes, friends, family, well-meaning, but they can be negative and not even understand. If they have not walked in your shoes, then they really don't know. And you have to make the decision to tune that out. Maybe it's even better not to have the discussion with them, because they can be negative. And you really, in this kind of situation, when you're going to have major surgery, you don't need any negative voices like ringing in your ears, or any vibes, or any jealousy, or anything like that. So you have to tune it out, not only from other people, but from yourself as well. And I had to do that. I prayed, and I would, as soon as a negative thing would hit me, I would know. No, this is going to work out great. This is going to be amazing. And I connected with other women that were having surgery the same week that I was, and we began to support each other and FaceTime each other, and it just brought like an excitement and an atmosphere of camaraderie, so I didn't feel alone. Because I didn't really know, and I don't know too many people who were having this kind of procedure done. And, people are busy. People have lives. They don't just want to talk about this 24/7. But when it's your turn, you want to like, okay, what's going to happen? And so I had to really prepare my heart and my mind. Because none of us really know what's going to happen. What's the outcome going to be? How am I going to feel? How am I going to look? How am I going to handle this? And removing so much skin and fat and tissue from my body was removing also the toxic and the trauma that I had been living with for so many years of my life. I'm not the same person. Not just physically did my plastic surgeon cut off pounds of skin off of my body, but that trauma that existed, that toxicity that existed, and what created that is no longer there. So it's changed me also emotionally and mentally. And it's amazing. It's not just a physical transformation. So mentally and emotionally is something that you also really, really want to prepare for. Because, even when I don't feel great, and I have my moments, I think I might cry once a day, and like even yesterday, my little dog came home, and he kind of is not very cuddly with me anymore. He senses something is different about me, and I was crying about it, like boo-hoo crying. And my husband's like, "Are you okay, Kat?" And I'm like, "No," And then I just had my little time. But then I said, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not going to drown in my sorrows. I'm going to, God, help me. Pull me up out of any depression, any self-pity, and even when things, and I could say, thankfully, I don't feel a lot of pain. There's more of an uncomfortableness and like a tightness of my skin that has been changed, and I've kept up with the different pain management. So that's been really good for me. But I'm not dependent on it. So I do feel what's happened to my body, and I wanted it like that on purpose, because I'm one of those people that, there was different options available to me to just numb out all the pain. And I chose not to do that route, because I wanted to feel my body, and I wanted to know if I was moving the wrong way that I could feel it. And that was important for me. And we all make our own choices, and I don't think there's a wrong or a right. I think you just have to know yourself. Now, if the pain would have been completely unbearable, maybe I would have chose some other options, but I did not, thankfully, have to do that, because I didn't want the effects on my body that I knew the medication was going to have. Right? So mentally and emotionally, I've seen people who are 20 years younger than me who really suffered because they did not prepare financially for the different emergencies that took place, and they were not prepared mentally and emotionally, and the maturity was not there to be able to handle some of the things that you go through when you have plastic surgery, when you have major surgery. Everything does not go your way. It's not unicorns and rainbows, and you have to have that strength mentally to be able to handle it, and so I worked on all of that as well beforehand. And that's the gold coin state of mind, even with my weight loss programs. And I'm telling you, I'm the #1 coach for heart, mind, and harmony, weight loss, and wellness. And because I apply those things to every part of my life, it's doable and I see results. I had major surgery 10 days ago, and and I wanted to record this at this time so I could tell you, even though I have my moments, yes, I get tired. Yes, I get exhausted. Yes, I feel pain. But at the same time, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to my recovery, and I'm trying my very best to have an upward look on everything, right? So it's really helped me because I was already putting into this preparation into practice before. So lastly, in this video today, I want to talk about the body preparation. So you already know that I've lost a lot of weight. I do eat pretty clean, I would say. I do avoid processed food as much as possible. I don't think anybody's perfect on that end, but I'd say 80%. I eat mostly meals cooked at home. There is the occasional, I go out and have a great time and, go to different people's homes or parties or whatever, and whatever's there, we might eat. But for the majority, I eat at home, cooked food that I know. So I was preparing my body that way. And I also do a lot of movement. I do strength train with dumbbells, and I say I do, but I'm not able to right now, of course, right? And I do that, and some cardio, stretching, movement, a lot of meditation, prayer, all those type of things. And the preparing of my body, oh my gosh, it has helped me so much. I had a 360 body lift and a breast augmentation and a reduction, so I'm not able to use my torso. So my arms and my legs have, oh my gosh, they have held me up. Now, you never know how much strength you have until you really have to use it. So here I am, with having to, rely. And then I also had something on my back. So it's like I'm able to lift my arms only so high. And I have to pick myself up with that arm strength. And I have to rely on my thigh muscles, squatting and doing different things. Oh my gosh, so much. And it has helped me with my hygiene needs. It's helped me with, the basic things that you have to do every day to relieve yourself. I mean, even to get up, to be able to move, to rest, to sleep, to eat, to everything. I have needed the muscles that I have been building all this time. I did not realize how much it was my strength training. And even also I began to train myself to sleep on my back, because I love to sleep on my side. I love to just be curled up, on my side, and I'm not able to right now. I have to sleep upright at like maybe I think it's like a 15-degree angle walking. I have to walk this way. I have to sleep where I'm not stretching my stomach. And if I hadn't already been doing this kind of thing, I don't know that I could handle it. I mean, it's hard enough as it is. It's a challenge to not be able to bend your waist, to not be able to quickly turn and pick something up or get yourself up. And just imagine if you don't have a companion or something to hold on to, what are you going to do if you don't have that arm and leg strength? And, I'm so grateful for that discipline within me that said, don't cheat on you, Kat. All those mornings that I would get up at 5:30 in the morning before work and go to my living room and work out and pick up those dumbbells. And I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyways because I said, I'm not going to cheat on me. I did not know at that time how much I was preparing for this part of my journey. It it has given me a supernatural strength that I did not even know that I had. And you can have the same thing. If you're preparing, even if you can't do different exercises, at least get out there and walk. Get out there and stretch your body every day for 30 minutes to an hour at least. You are going to be so glad that you did. So I didn't want to take too long on these things, but I'm so serious. The preparation financially, and thinking of things ahead of time, the preparation of your heart and your mind and your body. These things have enabled me to, now that I'm in post-op recovery, I'm able to have a peace of mind, and I'm not overly concerned and stressed out about my finances and like, oh my God, what's going to do? No, I don't even have that, right? Because I prepared the best that I could. Whatever you have to do, if it's something you want, you have to go after it. You have to make the narrative and not let what somebody else says or what somebody else thinks or what happened to somebody else happen to you, right? And then the other thing is, with the heart and the mind, I was so excited one day and, worried the next day and concerned, and I didn't know what was going to happen, and how am I going to turn out? Am I going to you can just drive yourself crazy. Don't do it. Yes, you're going to feel all of those thoughts anyways, but even if you have only one person, and let me tell you this, my social media, Instagram family are so amazing. No one supports you like an Instagram friend you've never met. That statement is so true. Because I have some ladies that I just want to give them a shout out. They have just been so amazing. We met through strength training or some other kind of way on Instagram, and they have been my biggest cheerleaders, and they support me. I thank you so much. And they just uplift me, and they're always checking on me. How are you doing, Kathy? Are you feeling okay today? And it's like, wow. I really needed that sometimes. And I have some family members that have been praying for me, some really good friends that have been checking on me every day. Just a text. Hey, how are you feeling today? How's everything going today? Are you doing okay? Do you need anything? And that has helped me so much. I have some surgery sisters, that's what we call each other. We had surgery the same week that we connected, and we're always laughing about what craziness happened on the recovery floor of the hotel, or different things that we went through. And it just feels good to be able to talk to somebody else who has gone through the same thing that you have. And so all of that contributes to your recovery. You want to be able to have a peace of mind. And, also, like I said, the body part. Begin to prepare your body. Eat clean. You got to watch your sodium levels. You don't want to you're going to swell. So you don't want that extra salt to make you swell even more. You want to take care of your physical aspect, because without the strength training, oh my goodness, I would barely be able to walk around. I wouldn't be able to sit here for 30 minutes. I'm going to go take a nap after this. Let me tell you, I'm pretty exhausted, but I don't think I would be able to talk to you about this. And I wanted to do it in the moment that I'm in right now, because later on I'll be all like, yeah, it was great and this happened. But I wanted to do it right now while I'm in the midst, so that you can see genuinely the effects of everything that I've been through. So these are the 3 things. Really, it's kind of for financially, heart, mind, and body preparation for plastic surgery. This is my perspective on it. I'm Kathy Burgos. Check me out at goldcoin145.com, and also on Instagram and Facebook, goldcoin145. Don't cheat